And there's never been a better time to get started on your future. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 14th. As an accredited state university, UMGC has been transforming lives for over 75 years. With more than 135 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, online and hybrid courses, personalized support, financial resources, and lifetime career services, achieving your dreams is more possible than ever before. Choose the program that's right for your career goals and get started on your next success. Get your application fee waived now. Classes start May 14th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
When divorce places your home, finances, or kids in jeopardy, Cordell & Cordell is here to fight to protect your interests. Cordell & Cordell is committed to advocating for your rights in divorce and family law matters, providing the legal experience to fight for success. Call today for a consultation and details on our military service member pricing.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, Leander, and Silsbee, Texas, or wherever you may be listening. This is a Feel Good Friday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. The NFL draft had its ups and downs. 3 Horns going the first round. Texas has fan day tomorrow. Texas baseball dealt with some bad news ahead of a huge series as the Texas A&M Aggies come into town. Zach Sim of OrangeBloods.com talked to us about that at 8 a.m. Kendall Rogers of D1 Baseball joins us at 8:17 to talk regionals and possible matchup. And, of course, we got to break it all down from the draft and NBA action last night. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, we've got our guy Marcus behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. And also, we're going to give you a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Jason Aldean. But in order for you to do that, you have to use that new and improved iHeartRadio app and tap that red microphone and leave us a message. Let's get into it, Mark.
Come on.
You and I and Craig Way had a great time with Cam Parker, of course, and our guy Marcus over at Twin Peaks. Special thank you to the great folks over at Twin Peaks. They had happy hour all day. We had a great time, and a lot of folks were anticipating a fun-filled draft. And I'm not talking about Bud Lights. I'm talking about the NFL draft. There was no drama at the number 1 pick. I think we were all in consensus that this was what was going to happen with Cam Ward. I think we all talked about it. We were ready to go. It was like, all right. So then the drama started happening. Obviously, there was a trade. Trade was made. Travis Hunter goes number 2 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the GM said, F them picks. He didn't care. He wanted his playmaker because you get 2 for the price of 1. You get a defensive back and you get a wide receiver. So you got 2 players for the price of 1. But the story for us was all about the Texas Longhorns. Who's going where? When? We figured it would be 3 of them. We knew that. 3 in the first round. But it started to shake up a little bit. But I want you to hear from Coach Sark as his process of what he goes through on a day like yesterday.
Night. We know what the players are doing, trying to figure out their future, but from a coach's perspective, are you just watching? Are you still fielding phone calls from people? How's it work?
You know, the new format, you really field phone calls for about 3 days. Today, I think heading into the first round, I've had a couple phone calls earlier today, but again, it's just 1 round. And then day 2, I'll probably get some calls tomorrow, and then I'm sure I'll get you really get a lot of calls on Saturday morning, just with those later rounds and guys trying to, maximize those picks that they get. But at the end of it, man, I try to sit back and enjoy it. We've got 3 guys tonight, hopefully that can come off the board, and they're all in 3 different spots. I think Matt Golden's in Green Bay, Jade is actually here in Austin, and Kelvin Banks is in Houston. So I'll be on the couch. Enjoying it all, trying to be a proud papa.
Well, he's going to be a proud papa because, like LeBron and Dwayne Wade said, not 1, not 2, but 3 go in the first round. And the conversation that we were having yesterday was, why is it that our guy, Kelvin Banks, the top offensive lineman, has been seen to go as low as number 25 in the draft?
I'm going to say
You're always smoking mirrors. You're always smoking mirrors tonight.
And that's why.
Oh, yeah.
That's why.
Hocus pocus, put it in focus.
There it is. And the focus began at the number 9 pick for 1, Kelvin Banks.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle, Texas.
So we go offensive line. DJ, your thoughts?
Well, I thought these tackles would come off the board quick because there's not a lot of them that you can count on to come in and start and play right away. Last year, the Saints got Talisi Fuaga to handle 1 tackle spot. Now they get the other one taken care of. Think about Kellen Moore just winning the Super Bowl with a team that's all about the line of scrimmage with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
Yep.
So they got the bookends now.
Yep. They made some moves.
Yeah, and the running game is already good for the Saints.
Yep.
Now it's about to really pick up.
Business has now picked up. So not only did Kelvin Banks elevate to where we thought he should be.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We thought he was going to be a top 10 pick and should have been a top 10 pick, but all the scuttle was about other people, so be it. We got where we wanted.
They had him falling to
25 to the Houston Texans at one
and
point.
I'm like, what is going on? This is bizarre where it was all the ruse, if you will.
And New Orleans just sat back and waited. Kellen Moore deciding, you know what? We got to get our offensive line in place. No matter who's going to be our quarterback, we'll see what can happen. With that being said, up next was 1, Pflugerville Conley's own Jade Barrett.
NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Jade Barrett.
Yep.
Man, big pop.
Big Pop, you know what it's all about. Like, that is what it's supposed to sound like. That is what a room full of your supporters is supposed to sound like. Because you heard him. You heard him say that this is where he wanted to be. It was in Austin, Texas. You heard Coach Sark talk about it. And Jade got a chance to talk to our guy, Corey Mose, and talk about being drafted.
Yeah, you mentioned Surtain, and when your name popped up, I was like, uh-oh. This secondary is about to be crazy.
It's loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's loaded. I mean, I'm excited to be able to play with a great defense. They were already great. It's my job, to find my role and to own my role and to master my craft, just like they master their craft, and add value, So I told the coaches it was an investment. It was an investment getting me, and they're going to get everything they got out of me. And I'm going to make sure I bring it every single day for them. I'm representing the Jim Thorpe community, representing Texas, representing my mother, representing my family. So I'm just ready to dominate.
Yeah, I listened to that call, and you asked them to put you on speaker.
Yeah.
Well, why did you say that? And then what did you tell to that draft room in Denver?
Man, I just wanted to thank everybody. Like, it's crazy, like emotion, like all the way, like tears that hadn't hit me yet. I've been taking pictures of everybody and stuff. It really ain't even got a chance to just sit down and just like wow.
Yeah.
But I wanted to tell everybody thank you, man. They changed my mom's life, like, completely. They just changed my mom's life. That one call right there changed my mom's life forever. She just, me growing up, she having to take me to practice, take my brothers to practice, take my little sister to this, and make us happy, and then go work 2 jobs. Like, it was stressful for her. So just for her to, like, she's done work. She don't got to no more. You ain't got to clock in. So just for her to have the ability just to enjoy being a mother, that's one of the greatest gifts, to being a mother to kids. So she gets to finally enjoy that. So I'm happy for her.
Man, I'm a fan of this dude. I already liked him, and now I want to sit down and talk to him.
Yeah,
like I feel and he's just made me, along with some other factors, more of a Bronco fan. I mean, you got Malcolm Roach on that team. You got Sam Ellinger on that team. You got
Brandon Jones
on that team.
You got
PJ Locke is on that team.
Yeah.
There's like 5 or 6 Longhorns on that team.
Yep.
So now Broncos North is right up the street.
Yeah.
I'm listen, Cowboys, y'all need to get y'all stuff together, because I told you that I was on the fence. I'm at the top now, both feet, holding on, barely. I'm about to jump, Hardge. I'm about to jump and land in Colorado.
You're just gonna sprain your ankle. So here's the other part of this. For Jade and what he means to his family, he also means a lot to the Pflugerville ISD, one that I'm a part of, the Pflugerville ISD. He became the first round draft pick in Pflugerville ISD history. So congratulations to that young man, his family. We expect big things from him. He's a Thorpe Award winner.
Yeah, him and Surtain gonna be nasty.
They're gonna have a lot of fun over there. But it ain't over, folks.
It ain't over.
We got another Texas Longhorn that is representing. We will hear about that. And of course, the Dallas Cowboys. Marcus jumped over the fence. He's in Denver. I'm still riding with you, Cowboys.
I didn't jump off yet.
We'll see what happens when we come back on a Feel Good Friday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Texas softball is heating up. Catch every pitch.
Soaring fly ball center field. Back goes Dill. The warning track to the wall. It's gone. Jolie Mitchell for the second game in a row. A round tripper, and the Longhorns up 4-1 here in the 7th inning.
As the Horns take on the SEC, search Retro Austin on the free iHeartRadio app and listen to Texas softball all season long.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
two separate accidents this morning, causing over an hour of backup. Highway 183 southbound is closed down for an accident at Loop 360. Your backup here starts from McNeil Drive. And your second hour delay comes on I-35 southbound due to a crash at Runberg Lane, blocking out the two left lanes. It has you backed up from Tech Ridge Boulevard. I'm Jason Fostick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. In a rush and don't have time to shop for groceries? Let Randall's do the shopping for you. Now at Randall's, get $30 off your first online order. With free pickup or delivery, you will always get the same great prices, deals, and rewards as in-store. Shop Randalls.com or in the app.
Spring is here, and that means time to gear up for graduation gifts and summertime adventures. Whether it's a fresh ride for the grad or a tough truck for your next getaway, Cover Ford and Hutto has what you need. Go see them for great deals like a new 2024 Ford Super Duty Lariat for $10,696 off of MSRP. A new 2024 Ford Mustang EcoBoost Premium for $9,166 off of MSRP. Or a new 2024 Ford Expedition Timberline for $9,000 off of MSRP. See dealer for details. CoverFordHutto.com.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
And Doug. Quickly move. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
It is tough to go outside these days. Hey, that's understandable given how hot it is. But there is definitely a way to beat the heat. A trip to Inner Space Caverns in Georgetown. Inner Space Caverns is a great place to take the family. You'd be amazed at all of the beautiful formations, large rooms, prehistoric animal bones, and all kinds of creations with a truly unique discovery story right here in the Austin area in the year-round temperature of a very comfortable 72 degrees. You can check out the super exciting Sabertooth Zip Ride or Pan for Gemstones. Take the Wild Cave Tour or the Hidden Passages Tour. And there's a great souvenir gift shop and newly remodeled restrooms. Get out of the house, but get out of the heat and get some fresh air underground. Inner Space Caverns, right off I-35 at exit 259 in Georgetown. That's Inner Space Caverns. For more details, check them out on the web at innerspacecaverns.com. Inner Space Caverns. Check it out. Your adventure awaits.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you can wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Tariffs and your money? Well, we just offered our thoughts on the most recent episode of the How to Money podcast.
Let's say you do live in a state that gives you a tax break on $529. That's great, but don't invest those dollars once you put them in.
We're all about investing in a 529 plan. Typically, right? You want that tax advantage money to grow. But as you get close to needing to spend the money, de-risking is crucial.
In uncertain financial times, How to Money is here to help. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search How to Money, and start listening today.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show. Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the Morning here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. As you know, we had talked about this. We continue to talk about this. The NFL draft took place last night. We had number 9 Saints take Kelvin Banks Jr. By the way, did you see Kelvin Banks Jr.'s baby puke last night?
Yeah, they shook that baby, man.
Poor baby, man. I was like, come on now. I know everybody
She needs to be
excited.
shamed. I was like, somebody take the baby.
Come on, man. That baby should have been in the back and just chilling in the back. But I'm not gonna tell nobody how to take care of their kids. That's
Just
what y'all
saying.
do.
Yeah, you did. You already did.
I did.
It's
I did.
too
I put
late.
it out there. I'm like, come on now. The baby over there just
Baby
fed,
got shaking
just,
baby
yeah,
disorder.
Yeah, I'm like, we got to check on that baby today. But you got a chance to see that, Kelvin Banks go number 9. Then you had Jahdae Barron to go to the Denver Longhorns or the Texas Broncos, whatever you want to call them, because there's so many there. So happy for Jahdae. But that's not it, folks. There's one more that needed to go in the first round, and he wore number 2, Matthew Golden.
23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers. For the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
There it is. Yep. How about our guy Mark Murphy stepping down as president and CEO in July and said, before I leave, that wide receiver streak is ending. And they got their guy from Texas and another weapon. They got Josh Jacobs last year, the running back, very successful. And now they add Golden.
Well, I think Golden is a 3-level player receiver. He can catch the underneath ball. He's got strong hands. He's good out of a break intermediate, and he can beat you deep with great speed. He ran 4.29. This guy's a willing blocker. I just think this guy is an outstanding football player. He's a playmaker at the catch point. In other words, he's not a great big guy, but he makes a lot of contested catches. And I just love this guy as a player. Good route runner.
What's crazy is a guy that runs a 4.29. Sometimes he's a track guy, right? That's a straight line guy. This is a football player. This guy's getting in and out of breaks. Right. This guy's, like you said, down in the red zone. He's finding a way to create a matchup and fighting for the football, even though he's undersized.
Hardge, I don't have no problem with a discount. The last 3 or 4 years, well, I guess since 2002, it's 2002, they said. They haven't drafted a wide receiver. The Green Bay Packers haven't drafted a wide receiver in the first round in all that time. So they're getting these 2nd, 3rd, 4th round wide receivers, and they're turning over and doing really well. But there's no substitute for going and get the prime steak. You get a first round guy. I really believe that this is going to be one of those things that's going to make the running back's job easier. But also this whole team, Christian Watson, he's not reliable. I mean, he missed every season. The last 3 seasons, he's missed probably like 5 or 6 games. So, all of those other guys that they drafted in the 3rd and 4th round, they've done well, but they're not first round grade wide receivers. I'm anxious to see what Golden is going to look like catching the ball from one of the best deep throwers in the league in Love.
Well, we're going to end up seeing a lot because you heard from what Nick Saban was able to say and what we were able to see. You got an opportunity to see him move around in each spot. You see him go and make contested catches down the field. You see him run across the middle and make plays. You see him just be a absolute dog on the playmaking side of it. And one of the things that a lot of folks continue to forget about, he's one hell of a returner. He just didn't have to do it at the University of Texas. When he was at U of H, he returned kickoffs. He was explosive. That's why Texas was looking at him as that type of player. So there's moments that were passed up by other folks that now these people are going to be able to understand. For Green Bay, you saw it. He was excited. He's at home. He didn't even have to go nowhere. He could have brought all his stuff up there for the draft and just been at home.
Just stayed.
Yeah, found a place. He probably already found a place this morning. He already went through some of the things that he needed to. I'm excited for him. I think that the Cowboys messed up. We'll see. We'll see. Let me not messed up. I just think that they should not have passed on
those
him.
were the first words that came to your mouth.
It was natural. Though. It was natural. It just came out. It just came all out of there. So, I mean, I was not happy when the pick was made. I will be 100% honest with you. As a matter of fact, let's hear about that pick when the Cowboys decided that it was time for them to go ground and pound once again.
The Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Booker.
They're not fans of the Cowboys in Green Bay anyway.
Well, these fans who just happened to be elsewhere. I think they were at the Star in Frisco during that time, and they did not seem to be as excited as one Booker, who was very excited to be a Cowboy.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm super excited. I'm blessed to be a Cowboy. It's a great tradition, a great offensive lineman, and I'm excited to follow suit with all that came before me.
You did not allow a sack on your quarterback this last season. Did Dak Prescott just become your new best friend?
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to get on the phone with Dak. Getting the protection means make sure he goes clean every single game. I'm just so excited to be a Cowboy.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, he's really excited to be a Cowboy.
Hey, he excited now because he haven't took like 5 losses in a row.
Yeah, he's coming from a school that does not have a lot of losses when you talk about Alabama. But from all accounts, he is a road grader. But my question to you is, are we going to pick another Tyler? Because we picked Tyler Smith.
Man, they drafted Tyler Creator in the second round.
He's going to be the next one.
Yeah.
I wish it was the Tyler Rose and we were able to get that.
Wow.
Because now you start looking at this team and you're like, okay, the protection is going to pick up. Okay, Tyler Guyton was last year. Tyler Smith was 2022. And now we got the new Tyler that is going to be able to block and be an offensive lineman. He's going to be a right guard as of right now. So
well, let's look at this, Hardge. I want you to really think about this because I know you're disappointed.
I don't really want to.
But how good was BB at center?
I love BB. I was excited about
321 pounds a center.
And had never played center.
And had never played and did really, really well.
Yeah.
Tyler Smith at guard, 330. And now you bring in a guy 238. He is almost 340 pounds.
Yep.
Playing guard. And a dominant run blocker. Not just a good run blocker, but a dominant, one of the last 10 years, a guy that's 2 seasons in a row, he didn't allow a sack.
Yep.
In 2 seasons. He paves the road. The Cowboys have fixed the interior part of their offensive line. The running backs that they picked up in all season will be satisfactory. They won't be great, but they'll just be good enough. The tackles are where they need to fix. That's man. Guyton, put him on the right side. He is not a left tackle.
I mean, it's one season. Let's let him develop again. I mean, this is one of those times you are the quickest to give up on people. You are the quickest. You're going to try to trade him. You're going to cut him.
I didn't try to trade him. The dude had 9 false starts.
You would too if you scared on the edge like that and all them dudes that coming
in
at
11
you.
games.
Hey.
And 4 holdings.
Nerves. You think he can't get better? You think he can't get better? Development, Mark. Put that on the Cowboys to develop him instead of putting it on him to be nervous about them dudes coming off the edge. You got to.
13 penalties, 11 games.
Yeah, that don't add up. Coming up next, we're going to have more of this draft talk and a lot of conversation right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
A change for the better on I-35 southbound. The accident at Runberg Lane has cleared, but it's going to take some time for these speeds to get back to normal. Also, a crash and a subsequent police investigation closed down all lanes on 183 southbound between Loop 360 and Mopac. It's causing a 30 to 45-minute backup from McNeil. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Would you drive 10 minutes for $500? That's the distance from CarMax to Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $1,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at Henna.com.
Henna Chevrolet, we'll always stand by you.
Together, let's drive.
Fuel costs add up. That's why fleet managers like Ed Keeley of Communications Unlimited are switching to Coast, the smart Visa fuel card designed to help business owners save on fuel and cut wasteful spending.
When we first started using Coast, we saved in the neighborhood of $22,000 from our previous month's invoice from our other provider.
Get fuel rebates of 4 to 10 cents on every gallon at Coast's 30,000 partner stations across the country, like Exxon and 7-Eleven. Plus, get greater control over your spending and block unauthorized purchases before they happen.
The biggest change is the controls that the Coast product allows us to have that the other vendor didn't. There was a lot of potential for abuse out there that became virtually impossible with Coast.
Go to coastpay.com/sports and learn how to save an average of 10% on your fuel bill with Coast. That's coastpay.com/sports to save 10% on fuel with Coast. coastpay.com/SPORTS.
Coast card products are issued by Celtic Bank. All card accounts are subject to credit approval. See terms at coastpay.com.
The check is good, the experience is smooth, and the reviews online are wonderful at GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SPEED to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SPEED for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SPEED for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The Cowboys took Alabama guard Tyler Booker 12th overall in the draft. Texans traded their 25th overall pick to the Giants for more picks, including a 2026 third rounder. 3 Texas players were drafted, including Matthew Golden, who went to the Packers. Thunder rallied from 29 down, beat the Grizzlies for a commanding 3-0 series lead. Knicks and Clippers lead their series 2-1. I'm Rhonda Moss.
This is Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Cedar Park Overhead Doors.
Cedar Park Overhead Doors prides themselves on their integrity and honesty. The best garage door repairs at real prices with same-day service and a lifetime warranty on all spring replacements. For the best owners, best price, and best service, visit Cedar Park Overhead Doors at cedarparkgaragedoors.com.
1300 The Zone and the Round Rock Express. That's a double play.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. In the next segment, we will be talking NBA because the playoffs continue to be fantastic. Top of the hour, we'll have Zach Sim of OrangeBloods.com to talk about the injury to Texas pitcher as they have a huge matchup this weekend. But right now, I want to continue the conversation about the NFL draft. The NFL draft is something that changes lives. You heard it from Jahdae Barron. Jahdae Barron talked about his mother and being able to change her life for her to be a great mother. Well, now she doesn't have to clock in. You hear the stories of what's going on right now with Shedeur Sanders and how his life and journey has kind of changed. And now I believe the chip on his shoulder is going to be even bigger. And I think he's going to be able to go out there and handle his business and help a team, whoever he may be with. He's going to elevate what they do around them.
Well, he could be mad at all 32 teams because they all passed him.
Yeah. And then you can also look at the Travis Hunter situation. Travis Hunter, let's go all the way back to this past season. His girl, everything that was happening with her, the conversation where he wanted to get off of social media because of the fact that people always had something to say. His dad being incarcerated, not being able to traveling to the draft. But now he gets a chance to go to Jacksonville where a GM said, you know what, you're our guy, and we're going to go with you.
I probably got some familiarity with the them picks sort of process. So for our fans, I'll tell you, don't be scared. This is something I'm uniquely positioned to navigate. And we ended up with we ended up bringing Travis Hunter to Jacksonville. And with that, he is somebody who is deserving of a first-round draft pick as a wide receiver, and he is worthy of a first-round draft pick as a corner. Certainly look forward to each of those elements showing themselves over the next few years while he's under his rookie contract. But, we're excited about just getting him in the boat, so to speak.
He said as a cornerback.
He said he's a first-round grade as a cornerback and a wide receiver. That is why I said they got a 2-for-1 in a guy with that kind of talent. For them to take the initiative to move up, to get a guy like that is something that more teams, if that's your guy and you see that, go get him. You know, you've been talking about trading people and doing all these different things. Because is the reward worth the risk?
Yeah, you said that like it's a bad thing. I like the fact that they moved up and got it.
I didn't say it as a bad thing. I said that's what you love to say because that's what you love to say.
Make the trade.
Yeah, exactly. So for them and a team that obviously is under new regime, they were able to make that move. And just like the Dallas Cowboys, it's not a popular move. It's a safe move for the Dallas Cowboys. And I'll be the first to tell you, I did not like it initially. But let me tell you a little bit more. I didn't like Leighton Vander Esch when he got drafted. Turned out to be a pretty doggone good player. Sean Lee, didn't like it. Turned out to be a pretty doggone good player. Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, all these different guys that it was the safe pick for the Dallas Cowboys.
You wanted splash, but they went safe.
Will McClay has done an excellent job of solidifying who these guys are and grading them out that way. He said that Zach Martin's grade was the exact same as a Tyler Booker grade. So you have to believe in that. And then you find out how much this dude loves ball.
What does it feel like to see the love of football leave someone's eyes?
It feels great, like football is a child's game. So like people wake up, be like, man, I can't wait to play this football game today. They listen to their hype music, they take all the pre-workout, they get so excited to play football until they come across Tyler Booker. And then when I'm going after you, quarter after quarter, play after play, series after series, and I start to see that love leave their eyes, like that's what makes me love the game. Like I just really love.
I like
that part. I like that part. Yeah, you just got me. He got me ready to go. I don't know. He got me ready to go. Bro,
I want to play right now.
Let's go.
That's Micah Parsons in the background, because initially Micah Parsons was like, wait a minute, we got this guy? And then he got a chance to listen to him and break the grade and get to rate everything about this young man. And now I, too, have found a way to really, really understand that this is the right pick for the Dallas Cowboys. They have not steered me wrong when it comes to drafting talent. Yes, there were other guys. I even said that this young man, Tyler Booker, was going to end up in Houston at one point. I thought that was going to be their pick.
Right.
But instead, he's a Dallas Cowboy, and I firmly believe that this is going to be one of those players that the Cowboys have for 10 years on the offensive line. Is going to be tough. My man said he wants to take the soul out of somebody else's life right there. And that, to me, is what you need for the nasty on the offensive line.
That is an infectious type of attitude. It spreads across the offensive line. If he can make Booker and BB is a dog. Can you imagine what a combo block from Booker and BB is going to look like? 200. That's almost 700 pounds a man against one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very anxious to see what this is going to look like.
Yeah, me too, because you start looking at each one of these offensive linemen, and when the Cowboys were really good, their offensive line was really good.
Yeah, Larry Allen and Nate Newton.
Yeah, you start looking at those types of guys, and I'm not crowning them like that, but you look at Tyler Guyton is 6'7", 322. Tyler Smith, 6'6", 332. Connor Beebe, 6'4", 335. Tyler Booker, 6'5", 321. And Terrence Steele, 6'6", 310. The Dallas Cowboys are doing what made them great, but I'm not crowning them, but I'm looking forward to seeing what this season is going to be like. When we come back, we're going to talk NBA basketball. Ja Morant gets hurt, and did we witness a great comeback? I think we did, right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
The Craig Way Show, weekdays at 2.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
A change for the better on I-35 southbound. The accident at Runberg Lane has cleared, but it's going to take some time for these speeds to get back to normal. Also, a crash and a subsequent police investigation closed down all lanes on 183 southbound between Loop 360 and Mopac. It's causing a 30 to 45-minute backup from McNeil. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Hey, it's your boy Mike Hardge here, and I'm rolling in style with MyPlates.com.
And I'm the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. You know I got to have a license plate as strong as my legacy.
That's right, Mark. MyPlates.com lets you customize your Texas license plates with your name, your team, your passion, whatever makes your ride stand out.
And big or small, my place has it all. You want bold, you want style, you want to turn heads at every stoplight, my place has you covered.
Plus, it's easy. Just hop on MyPlates.com, pick your design, and make it yours. And now, you can even score discounts on select plates.
So why ride with a boring plate when you can flex on them with my plates?
That's right. Go to MyPlates.com today and customize your Texas license plate.
And get yours now before I go out and take them all.
So visit MyPlates.com and use the promo code THEZONE, all one word, THEZONE, to save up to $55. And don't be boring. Be exciting. And tell them Mike Hardge
and Mark Henry
sent you.
Tickets are on sale now, y'all, for our 2025 iHeart Country Festival, presented by Capital One, happening Saturday, May 3rd at the Moody Center in Austin, Texas. Don't miss your chance to see country music's biggest superstars. Tickets are on sale now. Ticketmaster.com.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. They'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-813-4011. 800-813-4011. 800-813-4011.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you know Factory Mattress has over 6,000 five-star local reviews? Factory Mattress carries all the major brands at the guaranteed lowest price and has free next-day delivery and setup. But this week only, instead of charging you a pickup fee for your old mattress like other companies do, Factory Mattress is doing an exclusive $100 trade-in allowance, even if you didn't buy it from us. The best customer reviews and the lowest prices.
My Factory Mattress.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, a new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
All about the presets.
That is the best new feature. It's like a car radio right on the app.
There's a list of what's trending. There's all the podcasts.
I love it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio. Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, covering the 40 acres.
Now's the time. Get over to AM 1300 The Zone on that iHeartRadio app. You know, the one that you've already preset. And if you're over there looking for some podcasts of the morning kickoff of all of our great guests that we've had this week, you can also leave a message for us as we're trying to give you Jason Aldean tickets to go see Jason Aldean August the 16th at the Moody Center. All you have to do is tap that red microphone and leave the word party. Party gives you a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Jason Aldean August the 16th at the Moody Center. Also, Mark, you have a shout out that you want to give.
Yeah, man, I like that. I like that myplace.com commercial we just played. You know, I figured out what I want my plate to be, but it might be a little too long for just, you know, the little plate. You know, get over. Let me over. My light is on. Can I put that on there?
No, I think that's a little
That's too
much.
long?
But you can work something out if you can go in there and just play with the letters. You might get an opportunity to do something similar to that.
My signal is on. Let me over.
That seems to be a little bit long, Mark, in
Wow.
the words.
I'm gonna call them at my place.
That's right.
Team and see what they can do.
Get over to
Because
myplace.com and you can customize it.
Just want to get over.
Yeah, you can. Well, seems like that. Seems like that.
It's Austin.
Somebody that wants to get over in the NBA is the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies had a 29 point lead. 29-point lead against the OKC Thunder. By the way, you could have went to that game for a ticket as low as $6 if you wanted to go to Memphis Grizzly game. We couldn't make it in time or we would have went. But they went. They came from behind and ended up defeating the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja Morant ended up getting hurt. And when Ja Morant went out with just over 3 minutes left in the first half, they were leading 67-40. Well, they erased that at the half, and they came back and won. It is the second largest come-from-behind postseason victory since 1996-97 season. The only one that was bigger was the comeback by 31 points by the LA Clippers against Golden State in 2019. But that's not it. It's just the simple fact that there is no more left for the Memphis Grizzlies, and it was all about the comeback.
Danger zone right now for the Memphis Grizzlies. Their lead down to 6. SGA steps back and buries it. Gilgeous-Alexander defended by 2. Left wing Caruso into the paint. Holmgren, we are knotted here in Memphis. A little bit of contact, gets it to Conjar. That's short. Rebound Holmgren.
Now you got a foul.
Ahead of the pack to Caruso all by himself. That'll get it to a 5-point lead.
29 points. Chipped away in that third quarter. Stuck to the game plan, didn't overreact. Man, this was a victory that they pulled out.
Every time he
And that is what it's all about. But that's not the only game that was an intense ball game. A lot of physicality. I believe that sometimes these referees need to really get control of the game. And I hate the fact of the conversation being, this is playoff basketball. No, it is sloppy basketball. When guys are on the verge of knocking each other out, you have to get control of the basketball game. And last night, the New York Knicks also came from behind to defeat the Detroit Pistons 118-116, and it was all about Brunson.
Cunningham will dance. Oh, he got by Anunoby. He lost it inside. Towns gathers it. Brunson will swerve, drive, and score. Brunson will drive, shooter will defend, and down it goes. Brunson coming up big, 26 for Brunson.
and he swerved in that corner. Whoa. He went after it, dog. And that is what this is all about. Jalen Brunson, probably the smallest height-wise on the floor, but the thickness of him and the power in which he plays, once again, he shows up huge in the biggest moments, and his team gets the victory.
I have a question for you.
Yep.
How did Dallas let him get away?
Same way they let Luka get away. It was they didn't want to pay both of them. So Jalen Brunson ended up going to play. His dad's the assistant coach of the team, and he wanted to be on the team with his pops, and they let him go. Because it would not have worked if you pay attention to the ball dominance of him and compare it to the ball dominance of Luka at the time, they wouldn't have been able to survive together because they both need the ball in their hands. There's just some people that you gotta move around because they both can't control the basketball. And it was obviously going to be Luka's team, and Jalen Brunson now created his own team up in New York.
Yeah, he did a great job of controlling the ball and getting the ball in situations where he could try to score. But going back to the Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson, like he forgets that he's a 6'10", almost 7-foot guy. And several times he got locked up with Caruso, who's 6'4", and Caruso beat him, stole the ball, tipped the ball, poked the ball out. Like, it's just so ridiculous to see what that dynamic is. On top of the fact that Ja Morant goes out and Bane just disappeared. He started jacking shots from 35 feet and just all kind of ridiculousness. And the best player that they had was Scottie Pippen Jr.
Yep.
And Scottie was keeping him in that game, and nobody else could come up and step and help him. And that's why the comeback happened.
Yep.
And the better team won. But it didn't seem like it at when they had like a 29-point lead.
Right. Well, they had it under control, and it was just out of control. And now you're sitting back and you're looking at this Memphis Grizzlies team, and you said it before, you can say it again. They just need to go on home. They need to go on to Galveston because you're sitting here now. Ja's hurt, and Ja needs to go ahead and sit down and get his body right for next season because they're not coming back from down 3-0 to the OKC Thunder. Last night was their best chance. Ja got hurt.
They don't have a big rule in basketball where you just say, you know what, y'all go ahead.
And in other news, the LA Clippers defeated the Denver Nuggets 117-83. The Joker was hot on the sideline, and those guys better get ready to play. Coming up next, we're going to talk Texas baseball with our guy Zach Sim of OrangeBloods.com. Texas is dealing with an injury, and we'll see how they will address it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, Junior Hot and Crispy Fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
Hey, Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are reigning. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right. Customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it to keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, retirement, maybe even kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you really need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We're committed to helping protect your personal interests and the life you've built. Don't let divorce take more than it has to. Talk to us today.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 14th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Have you ever had one of those aha moments in life? You know, you finally did something you'd been considering for the longest time and loved it. Then you thought, why didn't I do this a long time ago? Well, we've all been there. Our friends at Apple Leasing want you to know that 20% of new car loans in the United States are now at 84 months. That's according to recent articles. 84 months. Where will you be in 7 years? Well, you'll probably be upside down if you sign an 84-month contract. If you've been listening to us for years, it's time for your aha moment. Call today and get a much lower payment with short terms that really make sense. We'll give you such a great experience that you'll say, yep, aha. Join thousands of satisfied customers and call 512-346-9977 or visit us online today at appleleasing.com. Your aha moment is waiting for you. Call 346-9977 or click appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of a Feel Good Friday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We started the show off with 3 Longhorns being drafted in the first round for the first time since 1980. We also talked a lot about Travis Hunter, the Cowboys picking up Tyler Booker, and we just talked about the Knicks getting ahead of the Detroit Pistons. But right now, we want to go to the phone because I want to talk to my guy, Zach Sim of OrangeBloods.com, as we find out that the Texas Longhorns pitching staff had some changes to it. Zach, give us the latest on Jared Spencer and the results from going to see his physician.
Yeah, you know, he went through and got a bunch of different opinions because they weren't sure what the outcome was going to be. And to be clear, it was a shoulder issue, right? This is not a UCL tear where it was a, black and white issue. It was a shoulder issue where they thought, hey, if he can get through it, if there's not going to be structural damage and potential harm, like let him finish out the season. His velo is going to be down. He might not be as capable, if you will, but if he can do it, he can do it. But he finally got the final opinion from the docs down in Houston. They just said, look, it's better for your long-term future that you just shut this down. You got to have surgery, get this corrected. And so kind of that as expected, maybe, he'll be out the rest of the season.
And with that being said, it sounds like that the pitching staff has a little bit of a change. When the injury happened last Thursday against Auburn, on Saturday, Ruger Riojas got a chance to start, but it was probably his shortest start of the season, and all signs were leading for him to be the Friday guy. Now, is that your assessment?
Yeah, I mean, they absolutely pulled him early just so they could have that extra rest. You know, he had thrown 114 the weekend before. It being a short week, they already were going to have him on kind of a pitch count. But with Jared going out on Friday or Thursday, it was like, okay, yep, let's shut this down. Let's get him off the mound, get him some rest, let him start mentally preparing because he's the guy. You know, he's your Friday night ace now. And it wasn't that he wasn't an ace level type guy previously. It was just that he was so valuable out of the pen as a utility guy. They needed to maximize his output. And then recently, because of the pen stepping up, they've been able to slide him back into that Sunday slot, which gave you a lot of confidence going into Sunday. So what you'll see is Ruger tonight. You'll see Harrison, the trusty lefty, on the mound on Saturday. And then they're going to turn it over to the freshman, Jason Flores, who's been, continually coming along. They've been stretching him out. And so he'll get the start on Sunday.
How much rest does a starting pitcher usually need to recover enough to be able to not only come in sometimes just to be a reliever or to start again?
It honestly varies. You have guys like Ruger who just have a rubber arm. He said he was like, yeah, I was a little sore after the 114. And then 2 days later, he's like, yeah, if you need me, I'm here. Right. So he's a very unique case though. Most guys though, you'd like to see them have about 5 days rest, which is prototypical. But mixed within those 5 days, you're still going to have a bullpen where you're going to go throw 15 to 20 pitches just to make sure you're staying loose, your arms staying, compact and all that's there. So, but typically 5 days is off is what you normally see.
With injuries, is Texas in danger of having a lack in the pitching department, or is this something that they'll be able to recover from before the season is into the playoffs?
I think the good news for Texas is, one, you've got one of the best pitching coaches in the nation on your side, right? Like Max has just done wonders with this staff. They're a full ERA point above everyone else at this point in the season. And they're number 2 in the nation. It's not just the SEC that they're doing well in. So from a pitching standpoint, the mentality is there. They think it's the next opportunity for the next guy. They don't see it as this, the world is ending. In fact, Schlossnagle talks about things don't happen to you, they happen for you. Well, there's a lot of guys in the bullpen that something just happened for them, right? But then from a pure pitching standpoint, guys like Grayson Saunier, guys like Aiden Moffitt, guys like Andre Duplantier, the senior, they're going to need more out of them. I think the guy that I really have my focus on, though, is Thomas Burns. His ability to come in short stints, run it up to 98, 99, or, live in that 94, 95 range and kind of give you a little length. It's going to be invaluable for Texas, because if they can pair him up with Jason Flores on a Sunday, as an example, well, now you start getting back to those pairings that we've always looked at throughout the season, where you have Grubbs coming in, you got Volantis waiting in the wings, you got Andre, Saunier, et cetera. So no, it's not something that's going to crater the entire staff. It does remove that margin of error, though, where like against LSU series, they use 5 pitchers total against one of the top teams in the nation. And that's because you give length to Spencer, then you get linked out of Grubbs, you get a little bit of linked out of Harrison. Then, just the ball keeps on rolling. So
it's interesting that you say that, Zach. You can follow my man Zach Sim of orangebloods.com. You can follow him at Zach at the Dish. You and I were on a show together, your Horns Take podcast, with our guy Sean. And I believe that our conversation was, I thought Jason Flores was going to be a a Sunday guy for this team at the very beginning of the season. Little did I know it was going to happen, but it was going to be because of injury. But you also have a Cade Bing, is somebody that I look forward to him stepping back into a major contributor role. You talked about Grubbs and what he's able to do, but you got Dylan Volantis and Max Grubb, 2 guys that were up for Stopper of the Year as of right now. How vital are these 2 guys, including Flores, going to be heading into the rest of the season.
Incredibly vital. The job that Max Wiener's done with Max Grubbs has been incredible. And it's not that like he didn't have stuff before, but his stuff has played up. He's added pitches, and people have to remember that he didn't pitch at all in the fall. You know, he was coming off a little bit of a shoulder issue himself, and he's just been incredible. And so those two guys, especially Volantis, being able to use him maybe twice in a weekend is going to be crucial. The other guy that, you know, maybe down the stretch, maybe not this weekend, but maybe in a week or two, is a guy like Ace Whitehead. You know, he threw a sim game. And so they're going to bring him along slowly. They're going to give him time to ramp up. But if he can give you an inning, that's a really experienced lefty that adds just another unique flavor to the bullpen for you that, you know, he's been there and done that. So, yeah, but Max Grubbs and Volantis are linchpins, if you will, of the bullpen at this time.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, because that offense continues to roll on as well. You go down to Texas State after sweeping Auburn, and then you get to Texas State, and now you have the big turnaround for Texas A&M coming in. But talk about last week and where Texas was able to make some moves and really, really pound the baseball against Texas State and Auburn.
Yeah, this lineup, they've got Adrian back in there, and he's looked really, really good in BP. You know, Doza's playing DH. Yep. And then they got Jonah in there who adds just a little bit extra flavor. And so it feels like the offense is getting back into some of that rhythm that they had previously, where you've got Galvan hot at the right time. You've got Kimball Schutzler that's really come on and stepped up.
Whew.
And then you got a guy like Jalen Flores, who, you know, he's kind of been not talked about. He doesn't have as loud of a year as he had last year. But it's just, you know, you got these guys coming on at the right time, and the mentality is so perfect. You know, we talked to Flores after the game on at Texas State on Tuesday, and he was like, yeah, no, we didn't really have to say anything in the dugout. He said, we knew we were coming back. We knew we had this. It's just, you take it one pitch at a time, and this game is ours. And, you know, they've come back to win 16 times this year. And I think that really speaks to their mentality. It doesn't matter if they're down 10 or up 10. These guys truly treat each inning as its own entity, right? They're not worried about the noise and everything else going on. They're playing their game.
Yeah, and that has been outstanding. And you talk about Flores not being the numbers not being what they normally are for him, but you start to look at what he was able to do. And the 16 come from behind victories is one thing, but we had a stat up last weekend that he had 21 game tying or go-ahead runs driven in, and the next closest person at that time
is that common?
Was eight. You talk about clutch. Yeah, that is not even close to being common. That is clutch when you need something big to happen, and his bat has not failed them in those situations.
Yeah, no, the clutch gene is strong in Jalen Flores. If you're an opposing pitcher and it's late in the game and the game's close and there's runners on the pond and you see Flores come to the plate, you're like, well, shit, I might as well walk this guy. Like, I've got issues.
No doubt. Well, Zach, as always, man, I want to thank you for coming on with us, and we will definitely be looking forward to your columns and the conversation as this game this weekend against Texas A&M is going to be huge. We have Kendall Rogers of D1 Baseball coming up next, so we'll be having that conversation as well.
Tell my boy Kendall hi for me.
I will. There he is, Zach Sim of OrangeBloods.com. You can follow him on social media at Zach at the Dish. And, of course, we got Kendall Rogers of D1 Baseball talking all things regional and this huge matchup as the Texas Longhorns take on Texas A&M starting tonight. We'll be back right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
It's the Craig Way Show.
If Jerry Jones does care as much about his fans as he says, try to make some moves that might at least appeal to them a little more than a lot of the moves you made. In other words, like a real personnel person, a real general manager. Make Will McClay the real general manager.
Voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank. That's bank. Enter it now at am1300thezone.com.
AM 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
The stalled vehicle on I-35 southbound at Holly Street has been taken care of, but we have a major closure due to an accident and police investigation. All lanes are closed down on 183 southbound from Loop 360 over to Mopac. It's causing an hour and a half of backup, and things really start to slow down starting from Anderson Mill Road. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Discover the true taste of Texas at Mom's Food, Smokehouse, and Delicatessen, where everything is handcrafted in-house, from the mustard to the bacon. Proudly featured in the inaugural Michelin Guide of Texas, they source the finest products from local producers. Visit us at 5811 Maynard Road, Austin, Texas, or find them at your favorite farmer's market. Pre-order their barbecue today. Don't you keep the best delicatessen in Austin a secret. Tell them Mark Henry sent you.
Hey, weekend warriors, how's a little trail therapy sound right now? Hop in. Let's go for a ride in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Tune out all those work emails and turn up that twin-turbo V6 engine. Instead of letting the kids play online, show them some epic inclines. Turn your 8-person family dinner into an exhilarating off-road adventure. The all-new Nissan Armada is here. Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Tragically, 40% of women in Texas will experience intimate partner violence in their lifetime. The City of Austin provides resources for victims of domestic and sexual abuse by offering housing, healing, and preventive measures, fostering an atmosphere that empowers individuals to break free from dangerous situations. If you or someone you love needs help, call the City of Austin's Victim Services 24-hour hotline at 512-472-HELP. That's 512-472-HELP. One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hardworking, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Cars today, built to last, but how they look is up to you. That's where Mako comes in. They specialize in cosmetic repairs, from affordable paint jobs to fixing those annoying dents and dings. Maybe your car's paint is faded, or you've been meaning to fix those scrapes from the grocery store parking lot. We've all been there. Whatever it is, Mako has you covered. The best part, Mako's tax season sales event is happening right now. Stop by your local Mako and find out how easy it is to refresh your ride. With more Americans keeping their cars longer, now's the time to protect your investment and keep it looking sharp for years to come. At Mako, they're proud to be a trusted partner for drivers across the country. Whether it's giving your car a fresh coat of paint or fixing up those everyday dents and dings, Mako is here to keep your car looking its best. Get started. Visit your local Mako today. Get a free estimate and see how easy it is to bring new life to your ride. A little TLC. Better get Mako.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Would you drive 10 minutes for $500? That's the distance from CarMax to Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $500,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at Henna.com.
Henna Chevrolet, we'll always stand by you.
Together, let's drive.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
It's the biggest weekend in baseball around Central Texas, especially at Dish Falk Field. And what better person to talk about this huge matchup than my guy, Kendall Rogers, of One Baseball. And Kendall, let's get right into it. This is probably the most talked about weekend just because of the participants. The Texas Longhorns, the number one team in the land, Texas A&M fighting the Aggies, started the season as the number one team in the land. And oh yeah, there just happened to be a coaching change in the dugout throughout this time. How excited are you, number one, for this weekend? And what is it about this weekend that has everyone so fired up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ultra excited. I mean, I think anybody, even beyond the dramatic storyline surrounding this thing, from a Sauce Single standpoint, I just think when you look at the way the Horns have played this year, just they're incredibly consistent. They played a very high level of baseball, defensively, offensively. Situational hitting's been fantastic. They deserve to be number one. And, you look at the A&M team that came into the season as the number one team. They did not play like that. The polar opposite of that, really, until about after the Friday of the Tennessee series. But since that point, they have played like the team that we thought they would be coming into the season. They still haven't kind of fine-tuned their pitching a little bit, just offensively. They are clicking. And that just kind of creates a recipe for absolute pandemonium this weekend at the Dish. It's going to be really interesting just to see, how the teams handle the moment. I mean, it's one thing for Texas to play LSU, Georgia, and Auburn at home. The LSU series is a little rowdy, but Georgia and Auburn I thought was a little bit more subdued. This one, you're going to have probably a decent amount of maroon in the stands, the storylines, the emotion. It's going to be a test for both teams. It'll be interesting to see how things kind of shake out.
Well, the test got a little bit harder if you're a Texas Longhorn fan with the news yesterday of Jared Spencer, Texas's big lefty Friday night guy, being shut down for the rest of the season with a shoulder injury. And I believe I saw that he's going to be ending up having shoulder surgery. But you insert a guy that you went out and got in the transfer portal in a Ruger Riojas, who's had one hell of a season if you look at the numbers. Number one, how big of a difference do you think that's going to be? And what are your expectations from Riojas?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for me, at least in this particular series, is, Spencer certainly was a bigger advantage against A&M's lineup than Riojas, just because he's a lefty. They have several lefty hitters. A lot of their best hitters are left-handed guys. And so, I mean, it hurts you there, but just for the season as a whole, I wouldn't say it's a killer, but I mean, it's certainly, in terms of winning the national championship, it makes things a lot more difficult because when Jared was in there, you're kind of able to kind of use Ruger in some different roles. You're able to use Max Grubbs in some different roles. You're able to, really push Dylan Volantis to the back end of the game. And now it's kind of like if Riojas struggles or Luke Harrison struggles, well, then you're going to probably have to, you're going to have to bring somebody in a little sooner than you would have liked to. So with this Texas team, I've gotten to the point where I don't doubt them. Like you would think, like, okay, you lose your Friday guy in April, like, oh, that's just crippling. But I've watched the team so many times this year, and it's like I'm not going to doubt him yet. Look, until I actually see them struggle without him, I'm just going to assume that somebody's going to just take the torch and continue on. That's just kind of how this team's been all season long.
We talked about the health of the Longhorns. How's the health of the Aggies? Are they coming in here at 100%? And is there anybody that you look at as a potential Longhorn killer?
Yeah, so it's interesting you mentioned that because, coming into the season, they were expecting Gavin Kohovic, a preseason All-American, to kind of be, one of the rocks in that lineup. And, he's been out the entire season with an injury. Well, I think he played the opening weekend, but that's not opening weekend. He's been out all season long. And what really hurt them is when he was out earlier in the season, they really had no one kind of, filling in that void. Add on to that Caden Sorrell, another All-American type of player, was out early in the season. That was just a really bad recipe for disaster. And now, you look at Sorrell, he's been back in the lineup. I think he already has 5 home runs since he returned. He returned right before the Tennessee series. So he's been, hitting at a pretty high clip. And then, the guy for me that has frankly been the key to them breaking out beyond Sorrell is Bear Harrison. He's a transfer, so many transfers on both these teams, but
Right.
Bear Harrison from St. Mary's, he was a guy that early in the season, he had some really, really rough at bats. And there's a transition period coming from the WCC to the SEC. But, he's a guy that if you look at his numbers in SEC play, I think he leads them in homers and he leads them in batting average in the SEC. So, he's been a big key for them too. And what I kind of told people is when they haven't had Grahovic, they didn't have anybody to fill his shoes. Well, now that you have Sorrell back and now that you have Harrison kind of equaling the production that Grahovic had, it's almost like you had the same lineup you expected to have on opening day. And that is kind of why you're seeing those guys play to the level that we thought they'd play at.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of folks are really excited. We're talking to Kendall Rogers of D1 Baseball. You can follow him on social media at Kendall Rogers. And Kendall, each week, you guys go out there and you start to try to set up these regionals, and D1 Baseball does a great job of trying to get these regionals set. Right now, your projected field of 64 has Texas, Dallas Baptist, K-State, and Maine as of right now. And the addition was on the 22nd. I know you will update that. But I want to ask you about K-State, because K-State is an interesting study for me, because I got a chance to watch them up in Frisco when I was working for D1 Baseball during that time.
Yeah.
And they just seem to be a team that no matter what the situation is, they find a way to get into the mix. What is it about K-State that always has us intrigued?
Yeah, I think Pete's done a really nice job this year, and I know they've kind of fallen on some hard times the last couple of weeks. But as we've just been talking about A&M, things can kind of change on the dime of college baseball and baseball in general. And so, Kansas State I think is still really scary. You look at Jacob Frost in the rotation; he's certainly a really talented arm. Maximus Martin. Last year when they lost Kalen Culpepper, we kind of thought, hey, that's going to be really hard to replace. And he's done a really nice job in replacing Kalen. So, they've just done a really a fantastic job in replacing some of these holes they lost from last year's team. Pitching wise, they still leave a little bit to be desired, but this is a club that, after what happened last year where they got to the Super Regional in Charlottesville, this is a club that if they can just get in the postseason, which right now they're in still a pretty decent spot. They've also got a member of their athletic department of the committee, so that helps. But if they can just get in with the experiences they had last year, I think they're very dangerous.
Yeah, and that coming into Austin, a place where they played against the Texas Longhorns before, and being in this regional, it will always be tough. Well, I do want to ask you, this weekend, obviously, with the storylines that you and I have talked about before, Schlossnagel, Michael Early, and this whole back and forth against each other, what is something that you are looking forward to in this series?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I would say probably like Ryan Prager against Texas lineup. Prager, was a guy that, turned down $1.2, $1.3 million for a chance to win a national championship. And obviously there's an NIL aspect of that kind of helps his decision a little bit. But, for him to come back and, he has struggled a little bit in SEC play. But, I was talking to Mike earlier in the week, and he was saying that he thought his metrics and things like that were kind of getting back to normal. So just seeing him against Texas lineup and, really just atmosphere in general. I'm one of those guys that, grew up on this rivalry. It's great when it's, during the midweek and things like that. But nothing's as good as the weekend. And I just think when you look at the stakes for both teams, for Texas, let's be honest. For Texas, you could probably get swept this weekend. It doesn't really mean anything other than a ranking. But just for these teams in general, just as you look ahead to the end of the season, it's as good as it gets. The storylines that, A&M trying to get back safely in the postseason. Here's the other crazy thing about it too, that just adds to all this drama is A&M now at this point is if they win this series, they would have one series over Arkansas, Tennessee, Texas on the road. They're an LSU home series win away next weekend if they win this series from being a host. which is kind of insane to think about when we look back at how bad they were at the midseason point.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. We got our version of the Hatfield and McCoys happening this weekend at UFCU Dish Falk Field. As always, Kendall, I appreciate you taking the time, buddy, and we'll catch up again as we get closer and closer to setting up those regionals. Thanks,
Appreciate
man.
you, Kendall.
You got it, boss.
All
Yeah,
right.
be good. Thank
Appreciate it. There he is, Kendall Rogers of D1 Baseball. Get over to D1Baseball.com for all the latest. Well, you know what time it is. It's time for the world's strongest man to bring you his world's strongest take right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
The spot to avoid this morning is 183 southbound. An accident closes down all lanes at Loop 360, causing an hour and a half of backup from Anderson Mill Road. Try taking Palmer or Highway 45 to get around these delays. There's also an accident being reported on the service road of I-35 northbound at Anderson Lane. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Hardball Hardge here. Spring is in full swing, so let's talk graduation gifts and summertime road trips. From sleek sedans to bold SUVs and tough Chevy trucks, Cover Chevy in Hutto is where it's at. Go see them for $4,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 ZR2 and $3,250 off MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 RST. See dealer for details. Big time deals, down home feel. You know the name. Cruise over to covertchevyhutto.com. Together, let's drive.
Protesting your property taxes can save you money, but it's a hassle. That's why there's Ownwell. Ownwell can protest your property taxes and get them reduced. It takes just 3 minutes.
The Ownwell website is super simple. I've used Ownwell for 3 years, and every year they've saved me money.
Ownwell's team of local experts will file your protest and negotiate with the assessor for you. 86% of Ownwell's customers receive a reduction, with average customer savings of over $1,000. Don't pay unless you save.
With the money that I saved with Ownwell, that was a trip to Italy.
Right now, get an estimate of how much you can save by texting WIN to 64,000. But hurry, the deadline to protest is May 15th. Text WIN to 64,000. That's WIN to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary. The characters in this ad are accurate portrayals based on real customer experiences.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather. Cloudy skies for your Friday morning with scattered thunderstorms developing this afternoon. A high near 85. Cloudy tonight, a low near 70. Saturday and Sunday, partly cloudy with highs near 90, lows near 70.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Here's what's trending now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
This is going to be an episode you can't miss. Deepak Chopra drops some mind-blowing wisdom on Purpose with Jay Shetty. And I got to be honest, it might change the way you think. Plus, Julianne Hough spills iconic advice she got from the one and only Dolly Parton on Post Run High. Plus, Clay Matthews joins Lots to Say, and he's got a lot to say about beekeeping. Yeah, you heard that right.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Hook 'em horns.
First off, I want to thank Kendall Rogers and my guy, Zach Sim, for breaking it all down for Texas baseball. But right now, he's a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the one and only Mark Henry, bringing you the world's strongest day. Take it away, man.
Hard.
What's up, man?
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time
For the world's strongest day.
by the world's strongest man. Marcus. Back then they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. The NFL draft started yesterday around 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. When that draft started, there was already something going that I think we all thought about, but really didn't put a big emphasis on. And that is the teams that are going to tank, the teams that are going to make plays, not this year, but for next year. There are several teams that are all in on the Arch Manning sweepstakes. And the team that I feel like is the most in that boat are the Rams. Matt Stafford said already, I'm going to play a couple of years and I'm packing it in. That's a telltale sign for an organization to say, well, we need to start preparing for what that next 2 years is going to be like. So basically it's a year and a half. And he's not necessarily guaranteed to play 2 years. He might just play one more year, even though this contract that he signed is for 2. They made a trade yesterday to acquire 2 picks in the first round. The exact same thing with Jacksonville and Cleveland. They will be in the sweepstakes for Arch Manning, even if they draft in the second round a quarterback this year with the first overall pick tonight. Cleveland still could be in the sweepstakes for the Arch Manning sweepstakes. Then you have 2 young quarterbacks going at it to see who's going to be the guy. Worst case scenario, you have a situation like Drew Brees and Rivers, and Phillip Rivers. And then you can make a trade and you can get another first round pick for somebody. I feel like, Hardge, that tonight we may have another trade happen that's going to result in more of next year's tanking. I think that the Cleveland Browns may trade this pick down to acquire more draft capital because there's somebody that wants Shadur in the second round. What say you?
Well, one of the things that I continue to kind of laugh at is this notion that Arch Manning is planning on leaving.
One and done.
Yeah, I'm really, really curious to why they believe that that is the plan for him. This is a family that has a lot of trust. They have gone through a lot in their time. I don't remember Peyton leaving early. I could be wrong on that. I don't remember Eli leaving early.
I think they both played 3 years at least.
Which is why I believe that if you're tanking for Arch Manning, you may be wrong in your tanking abilities.
So you may be spinning your wheels because he may be
2
years
at the
away.
University of Texas for 2 seasons. We've heard the story of him really enjoying being a college student.
And his family's here.
And long story short, I don't know if that is the right way to go. But what I do know is if whoever does get Shedeur Sanders, if they're trying to maneuver their ways to that, you're getting a motivated player.
Right.
You're getting somebody that is going to bring it every single day. The conversation yesterday about him continuing the drop, we heard things about that going into the draft. We just didn't think it was going to happen. I have a son who came out of his room because he's staying with Pittsburgh, by the way. He's not traveling with Russ anymore. Told him he couldn't be a Giants fan. So you best go back to where you came from, be a Bronco fan, be a Seattle Seahawk fan, be a Pittsburgh fan, but you cannot be a New York Giant fan. So he understood the assignment and he realized I can't do that. He thought that the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to take Shedeur Sanders. I was already in the bedroom. He comes beating on the door. I cannot believe we passed up on this guy. I was like, maybe they get him later. Maybe they get him in this round. Maybe they go and get Shedeur in the second round. Who knows? But the stories of the trades and the movements and all this other stuff, now is the time that you see a lot of it. This is where the movement is going to happen. This is where all of the trades will happen. As Coach Sark said at the very beginning of the show, this is when I start getting all my phone calls on the back end because people want to know about this kid, how they work, how they move.
With their temperament.
This is why these types of things that are going to happen. All in all, I think the draft is exactly what it is. It's a crapshoot. You don't know what's going to be great. You don't know what's going to be bad. You just hope that your guy can play for your team, which there's a lot of movement all the time, play for your team for 10 years. That's why the Cowboys do what they do as far as safe draft picks and go and get linemen, because you want to hit on that. And the rest of it, you can just kind of piece its way in because the financial burden is not going to be near as much. Mark, you were a professional wrestler for a long time. You got to see the world. It's that championship contract that changes your life. It's when you get that big belt, your life changes because you are the butts in the seats now. For NFL players, signing bonus, first round pick, that's great. But you can be a bust. You cannot get your second contract, and you're going to have to move around.
And then you're done.
And then you're out. So, and they've said it, and Nick Saban said it perfectly yesterday. It doesn't matter where you start or where you go. It's what you do when you get that opportunity.
There you go.
And so now these guys are getting their opportunities to be great. And your work now is to get to that second contract. Because the first one, that's cool. That second one is when you start to live life. And hopefully these guys all get a chance to get that second contract.
All right. Well.
So there it is. The world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. When we come back, we're going to close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick. Fan Day is tomorrow. I'll tell you where we will be, and we'll recap the Texas Longhorns and their draft picks. Right. Oh, yeah, there's a baseball game this weekend. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Texas is rolling out the burnt orange carpet for Longhorn Nation at the Texas Football Fan Day, and we want you to join us for a special edition of Longhorns Game Day from DKR this Saturday, April the 26th.
Join us, Mike Hardge, Craig Wade, Cameron Parker, and myself, the world's strongest man, from outside of DKR as we break down the latest storylines from spring practice.
Coverage begins at noon on 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
The spot to avoid this morning is 183 southbound. An accident closes down all lanes at Loop 360, causing an hour and a half of backup from Anderson Mill Road. Try taking Palmer or Highway 45 to get around these delays. There's also an accident being reported on the service road of I-35 northbound at Anderson Lane. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Hardball Hardge here for DraftKings Pick 6. It's the best time to be a basketball fan. All the thrills, all the playoff drama. Are you done sitting on the sidelines and ready to win some real cash? Check out Pick 6 from DraftKings. When it comes to basketball payouts, DraftKings Pick 6 posterizes the competition, including prize picks. When it comes to hitting all your picks, you'll get higher minimum payouts. That is on Pick 6. That's way better than the flex plans on prize picks. And best of all, you'll win even more cash if you outscore your competition. Track all your picks and get a shot to win huge prizes. That's all it is to it. Pick 6 is available in most states, including Missouri, California, Texas, Georgia, and many, many more. This week, I'm going to pick Kawhi Leonard to have more than 25.5 points. And guess what? I'm also going to throw in Russell Westbrook to have more than 3.5 assists. That's all you have to do. And if it hits, you win. You don't have to settle for smaller payouts. Switch to Pick 6 and cash in on your basketball knowledge. New players get $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly on just $5. You heard me correctly. New players get $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly on just $5. Now's the time for you to enjoy it and join Pick 6 from DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use the code SPOTLIGHT. That's code SPOTLIGHT for new customers. So $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Better payouts and bigger wins. Only at DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Yep, it's that time of year when CCA Austin has their fundraiser. The who's who of Austin will be there on May 8th at the Palmer Event Center. Checking out the live auction items, the silent auction items, all the games, and having some of the best food in Austin will be there as well. There's tables still available. We'll see you at the Palmer Event Center May 8th. Doors opening at 5:30. Check out ccaustin.org for more info.
Get ready, Longhorn Nation. Texas Athletics is rolling out the burnt orange carpet for an action-packed football fan day at Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium on Saturday, April 26th. Admission is free for all fan activities, including autographs, on-field experiences, the Team Shop Fire Sale, and more. This fan-friendly event kicks off at 9 a.m. with the annual Team Shop Fire Sale. Grab exclusive merchandise and get autographs from your favorite Longhorn football players. Experience the thrill of Campbell Williams James Field and immerse yourself in the excitement of Texas Football Fan Day. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to celebrate with fellow fans. Best of all, admission is free. So let's review. Join us for Football Fan Day on Saturday, April 26th. It's our day to celebrate you, our loyal fans. And we've got so much going on, starting with the annual Team Shop Fire Sale at 9 a.m., where you'll find our largest collection of gear not previously available to the general public, ready for purchase. We'll see you there, Longhorn Nation.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Hey, weekend warriors, how's a little trail therapy sound right now? Hop in. Let's go for a ride in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Tune out all those work emails and turn up that twin-turbo V6 engine. Instead of letting the kids play online, show them some epic inclines. Turn your 8-person family dinner into an exhilarating off-road adventure. The all-new Nissan Armada is here. Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Factory Mattress has over 6,000 5-star local reviews. All the major brands at the guaranteed lowest price.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Our blood runs orange.
What a great week of shows here on the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. If you missed any of those shows, get over to the podcast page because there is so much to break down and catch up on because we have great guests all week long, starting on Tuesday all the way up until today as we get ready for a huge weekend. And speaking of a huge weekend, it's going to be action-packed at Fan Day for football tomorrow at DKR Texas Memorial Stadium. You can listen to us starting at 12 o'clock from 12 to 2 right here on AM 1300 The Zone. We will tell you where we will be tomorrow. We will be just off of Bevo Boulevard. You will get a chance to see myself, Mark Henry, Craig Way, Roger Wallace, and of course Cam Parker as we break it down for you. We'll have different conversations about different groups, but they have a team shop fire sale starting at 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock where you get a chance to go over there and get all of the gear that these players had the opportunity to get this year, coaching staff. You also can get there on Game Day Street Fest on DeLost Way. You'll also be able to get on the field and have an on-field experience from 10 to 2. You'll get players' autograph and a Peach Bowl photo op starting at 12:15 right there in front of the stadium. So get over there, have a great time, come say hello. You might even get a picture with Mark Henry because that's what people love to do is hang out with Mark Henry. So why not get over there early and get a chance to do that? Also, this weekend, we have Texas baseball. Texas baseball will be taking on the Texas A&M Fighting Aggies. The games this weekend will be Friday night, SEC Network, but you can hear it on 103.1 FM. Also on Saturday, games will be at 3 p.m. and Sunday will be at 3 p.m. Those games will be on ESPN too, but you can listen to Saturday's game on AM 1300 The Zone. You can listen to Sunday's game on 103.1 FM. And Texas softball travels to Oklahoma. Number 2, Texas softball.
Come on, let's go,
taking
boys.
on number 3, Oklahoma in Norman. And you can listen to that on the iHeartRadio app. We also got NBA games still going on. Mark, it is just a busy, busy time.
Hey, it's good to be. And Hank Hill always said, it's always.
It's a good day to be a Longhorn, I tell you what.
I love it, man. I love it.
Oh, you love that, huh?
Yeah, because it's a good day to be a Longhorn.
Yeah.
You know, with all the activities going on and all the success that all the teams are having, the ladies in softball, the men in baseball, the way right now, everybody's loving what's going on with the spring football and the acquisitions that are coming in football. Like, it's a good time.
No doubt. We had a great time yesterday. I want to give a thanks to the folks over at Twin Peaks taking care of us yesterday. Absolutely great management group, great waitress staff, and of course, everybody that came out and said hello and spent some time with us. As somebody that endorses Twin Peaks, I expected nothing less than a great time. And so if you want to be part of us, or you want Mark and I to endorse your business, please feel free to contact us or contact the sales team over at AM 1300 The Zone. You can also look us up on our social medias at Hardball Hardge and
at the Mark Henry.
And we'll be happy to sit down and talk to you about possibly helping you and your business out. You heard our commercials for MyPlace.com. You hear the commercials for Mums and DraftKings.
Oh, yeah.
You hear it for Covert. Both of us are Covert guys, so we have a great time. So why not let us help endorse you? Mark, what's your plans for the weekend? I know what you got today, but what you got going on for the weekend?
You know what, Hardge? I'm still trying to catch up on
Sleep.
rest from. Yeah, I'm still trying to catch up on rest from being in Vegas for a week.
Yeah,
like
that's not normal.
That was a rough week, man.
Man, everybody kept saying, "Man, you can do 24 hours in Vegas." No, I can't. My body don't do that no more. So I can just imagine what your body. And not only were you in Vegas, you were in overseas for a while too.
Yeah.
So your body is, my mind
the clock
telling me
is
no.
just off.
Where do you always say my check engine light comes on?
Oh, yeah.
Right
It's
now,
on.
the clock is off.
The clock is just completely whirling right now.
Let me ask you this before we go. Shout out to Jade Barron, Kelvin Banks, and Matthew Golden for being the first draft pick since 1980. First three Texas Longhorns to go in the first round since 1980. But my question to you, Mark, who is the first Longhorn off the board today?
Oh, man. That's a good question. It's more about needs.
Alfred Collins will be my pick. Alfred Collins will be the first Longhorn off the board today.
It will be a defensive player, though.
Yeah. I'm going Alfred Collins. I think this is a good time for him. He's shown some great things within his journey, and I'm hopeful that today he gets the call to be an NFL player because of all the hard work he was able to do. I want to thank Mark Henry. I want to thank my guy Marcus. And I want to thank you, the people, for always tuning in to the Morning Kickoff, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Shout out to Zach Sim of OrangeBloods.com. Shout out to Kendall Rogers of D1 Baseball. Get out to the ballpark today as the Texas Longhorns host the Texas A&M Fighting Aggies, and you know they're going to be ready to fight. Have a good weekend, folks, and just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place.